Hello, hello, hello! What is up, everyone? Today we are going to be looking at my Michael Jackson tour book collection. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. You're now watching MJ Fangirl TV.
Girl, you got to know. We can touch the sky
Before I get started here, if you have not seen my face before, my name is MJ Fangirl and I make videos for and about the Michael Jackson fan community. I do travel videos, I talk about merchandise, I talk about the music. If you hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell, YouTube is gonna alert you every time I upload a new video. Even if you have notifications off, at least that way if you have the bell rung, then YouTube will let you know every time I upload by just placing my video first or second on your feed. Alright you guys, so I wanted to go over my Michael Jackson tour books today. I thought why not? I've never seen a video going over Michael Jackson tour books on YouTube, so I thought that this would be a good resource and just a good time for us to like do some chit-chatting. So let's get started. Alright you guys, so I am thinking that I'm gonna go in reverse order of what I have. I don't have every single Michael Jackson tour book, and I will, you'll see which one I don't have and you'll be surprised by it, but this is my History World tour book, and I am actually starting the video off wearing a Michael Jackson History World tour sweatshirt. Funny story about this, I don't know if you guys can check out the back there. I won this on an auction a long time ago. It was one of the first eBay wars I was ever in, and I won this for like 90 bucks. And I think that's a pretty good deal because I don't see this online often. So, yeah. So let's start off with the History Tour book. One of the reasons why I love this book is because it's really big. It's one of the biggest tour books. It might be the biggest in terms of dimensions in my collection, and I love it because the photos are really bright, they're really bold and beautiful, and let's take a look inside. There is a really nice story about Michael Jackson here. Not a story, but kind of like a biographical overview of his career. It starts off by saying Michael Jackson is called the King of Pop. He comes by the title honestly, the old-fashioned way. He earned it. Woo, that actually gave me the chills, you guys, because it's just really cool to look back. And speaking of looking back, I love how the History Tour book goes all the way back into time, and why it wouldn't be history without going back into time, right? I'm gonna hold it a little bit closer, but it basically, it shows a lot of fan love, people holding up signs, "We love you, Michael," and then there's this letter that was written to the president. Dear President Clinton, please make guns be against the law. Make there be no pollution. Make countries stop fighting. Make there be lower taxes. Stop the reporters from bothering Michael Jackson. Make there be more laws. And this is from a boy named Dominic at the age of 7. And I just noticed while I was reading this to you guys, it's from Dominic Cassio. The other cool thing about this book is that it talks about the History album. Obviously, this History Tour was done right after the History album came out, so it also serves as a promotional booklet for that as well. It talks about the different arrangements, it talks about the different artists that are on here, it talks about Earth Song, it talks about all the songs, but there's a part that I love here where it discusses Earth Song. It says, in stark contrast, comparing it to this time around, Earth Song is an expansive melodic opus that begins softly enough before giving way to an insistent gothic rock tinged chorus. And of course that must be about the part, what about yesterday? Like, I love that, you know? When I think about rock tinged, that comes to mind for sure. So yeah, it's just got these really nice photos from a lot of the different eras. And of course, when we flip all the way to the back, we see the album track list. We see Michael Jackson's a list of all his previous albums from Epic Records and all of the tour, History Tour credits. Of course, it has like tour production, makeup, wardrobe, styling, keyboards, all administration, communications, and everything like that. So this is the History Tour book. Now you guys, please don't be too disappointed in me, but I do not have a Dangerous Tour book. The Dangerous Tour book has been the most difficult thing for me to find online in terms of one that's affordable and that's good quality. If you guys have a Dangerous Tour book that you're willing to get rid of or that you've seen online that's affordable and in good quality, let me know because your girl would love to add it to her collection. Alright, so next is my favorite tour book of all of them, and that's going to be the Bad Tour Book. Now the Bad Tour Book is really unique to me because it's got a theme of like cutouts. So you can see even the way that this opens, Michael is like kind of cut out in a way. And then it opens up to this beautiful, beautiful portrait of Michael Jackson, one of my favorites from the 80s. And we'll just go through this as we've gone through the other ones. Here is another cutout. I just think it's a really, really cool, it's a cool theme to have. Here we have the Leave Me Alone that's been kind of cut out, silhouetted, put on top of another photo of Michael Jackson. Silhouette again. The little piece about here, in here about Frank DeLeo, which was Michael Jackson's manager at the time. You can see him here and here. I think this picture has always just been really, really cool. There you go with some more photos. Isn't it crazy how like people were standing in the crowds back then? Like, I've been to a lot of concerts. I'm a concert lover. I've seen Michael Jackson once. I've seen the Jacksons several times. I've seen other artists that I love, and after a while I'm like ready to sit down, you know, when they have like their little costume change or they go behind the stage for a little bit. Even when they sing ballads, I'm like, alright, time for me to sit down. So I cannot imagine the amount of strength and the amount of like stamina it would have taken for me to go to a Bad tour or like a Dangerous tour, one of the stadium tours where you had to be standing up. Like, I assume that everyone in the stands was in the stands and that's where they were, but I'm positive that my friends and I would have wanted to be down as far as we could be, but as close as we could be to the stage. So yeah, when I see pictures like this, I'm just like, wow, you know, I can't believe that people stood up for hours like that to see Michael Jackson do his thing. I just think it's so inspiring. And I would say this is kind of like an ode to New York because you've got this Bad video artwork. I don't know if I'm stretching long enough so you guys can see, but I just think that that's really neat. So yeah, that's pretty much the Bad Tour Book. Again, you've got the credits in the back, and you've got, of course, the pour behind the tour, a Pepsi ad. As you guys probably know, Michael Jackson's tours were sponsored by Pepsi for a lot of his career. The Victory Tour, the Bad Tour, the Dangerous Tour, I'm not sure what else, but go Pepsi. Alright you guys, so let's jump right on into the next one, and that is the Jackson's Victory Tour Book. Now, just to give you guys some context, for those of you that might not know, the Bad Tour was Michael Jackson's first solo tour. Michael Jackson had 3 solo tours, Bad, Dangerous, and History, and the ones previously that were done were with his brothers, the Jacksons. For those of you that don't have the context for that, Michael Jackson was part of a group with his brothers as a child called the Jackson 5, and then they moved on to Epic Records in 1976, and they were from then on called the Jacksons. Jermaine was out, Randy was in. Alright, let's get into it. So you guys can probably see from the timing that this was done in the Thriller era. Yes, the Jackson's Victory Tour was done right around the time of both Thriller and the Victory album. This was produced by the Jacksons themselves, and it was presented by Don King and Joseph and Catherine Jackson. So I thought that was interesting. Here you have this entire page of, you know, the Jackson signatures, and then it talks about the Jacksons' success. I like it. It really points out some really cool things that they've achieved, that the Jacksons are an American success story in the truest sense of that expression. Their father was a Gary, Indiana steelworker when they began their recording career. By the time they were all teenagers, they were one of the few black groups to achieve teen idol status. And again, whenever I read stuff like that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that the Jacksons have achieved so much, you know? It always gets me kind of teary-eyed, especially around this time of year. You guys, forgive me. So that's the front of the tour book. This is also, I've kind of lost its binding, so some of the sheets are kind of falling out here. I don't know why it's not focusing on, focus on me! It's focusing on Michael here, which is fine, but I want you guys to be able to see my face clearly as well. So here we just have pictures of each of the brothers. You've got Michael here first, you've got Jermaine, you've got Jackie, Tito, which now I'm realizing, and this is so cool that I'm going through this, you guys, because I haven't gone through these books. I don't really sit down and like look through tour books because they're mostly photos. Oh my gosh, I just realized something, and I love going through this with you guys because check this out. This photo of Tito is actually including his sons, Terrell, TJ, and Taj. Then we go on to Marlon, Randy. I'm sorry you guys, this is like falling apart. And then we've got these cool pictures with them with the sports car on the beach somewhere. And yeah, now we go in the back, and this is a stadium tour, you guys, so I thought that this was really cool. This just shows the Stadium Management Corporation, national promoter of the Jacksons Victory Tours, and the Jacksons sold out so many stadiums, you guys. It was crazy how amazing that is. Again, this was the last Jacksons tour that they did together. The last time they were on stage pretty much all together, I think until actually 2001 when I went to go see them with all 6 brothers. So it says, Pepsi-Cola is proud to bring you the tour America's thirsting for, the Jacksons. Yes, I'm still thirsting for it all these years later. Alright, you guys, and here we have the Jacksons Triumph Tour. And the Triumph Tour is like, I would say my favorite tour, I think, besides Dangerous, of course. But if somebody gave me a time machine, I legit would be like torn between the Triumph Tour and Dangerous, because Triumph, I just feel like Michael was so high energy and he was just so excited, and it just really shows on stage. This was after the Triumph album and also the Off the Wall album. Pre-Thriller, pre-Victory album, yeah. So this also starts off with a little background of the Jacksons. Love these photos. One of the things I really love about this tour book is that Michael and each of the brothers have a little section where they've written things about themselves. Like Michael says, I sing up front and more people know my name because I'm up front and they want to know who that person is. Sometimes it's hard for me to meet new people because they do have this image of me and it's not really who I am. So often I'm shy around strangers, but it's something I work on, and it's basically in my nature to be friendly to people. And I also love reading things that are pretty much from the past because it kind of tells you where the group's head was at and how they saw their own future. Here Michael talks about what he'd like the group to get into. I'd like the group to get into films, maybe direct a movie someday, because I always have a lot of ideas. And we know, a lot of us fans know that Michael had wanted to get into films for a long time, and that's what he wanted to pursue before he passed away. These are just some of the little anecdotes from each of the brothers. Jackie, Tito, Marlon, Randy here. And then they've just got some really cool pictures. Picture of Michael with John Travolta. Trivia, Grease is like my second favorite movie of all time. My first is The Wizard of Oz, so me seeing John Travolta and Michael Jackson in the same photo is like amazing for me. You've got Michael and Paul McCartney, just some other photos from the tour, and then again when we get to the back, oh look at the Disney pictures. When we get to the back, we're just going over merchandising, photo credits. Interestingly enough, they did not have anything about the tour production credits or anything in here, but the back has this cool Epic Records advertisement, and it says, after the encores, there's more, much, much more. The Jacksons' Destiny, Michael Jackson Off the Wall, the Jacksons' Triumph on Epic Records and tapes. And speaking of Destiny, let's get into the last tour book. Here is my Jacksons' Destiny tour book. Now this tour book, ironically enough, is not that hard to find. You can find this on eBay for a couple dollars. I think I got this for like 10 bucks a while ago. Now this is a little bit more wordy. If you are interested in learning more about each brother and about their history, this would definitely be the book for you. It has anecdotes from each of the brothers. We've got Randy, we've got Jackie, Tito, Michael, which I love this photo shoot. Michael Jackson here is talking about The Wiz. Doing The Wiz was an incredible experience. It was always something I wanted to do because I'd always loved the movie and I always fell in love with the Scarecrow. I saw the play 6 times. I'll do other parts if I like the script as I did with this. Here is a photo of the iconic Jacksons. We then have just a little bit of their history, photos and history, Jacksons in concert, the Jacksons with all their, well, not all of their siblings, but it's most of them, the 3 sisters and everybody except for Jermaine when they did the Jacksons TV show. And we've got all their different awards, which I think was really cool that they included this. I kind of want to like fold this over, but I don't want to mess it up. You've got the Roots Image Awards, Billboard 1972, Billboard 1972, NAACP Awards, Black Caucus Awards, the Key to the City of Gary, Indiana in 1971, the Key to the City of Buffalo, the Key to the City of Philadelphia. Like, they've really got all their achievements here, and I just think it's beautiful, you guys. I love the Jacksons, and I just love their messages of positivity, you know, thinking about their music and everything. It's just beautiful what they were able to come from. And also there is a Epic Records advertisement on the back of this as well. After 10 years, their destiny is just beginning. How true is that? Alright, you guys, so that is it. That is my Michael Jackson Tourbook collection. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. Which one did you like the best? History, bad, victory, triumph, or destiny? Leave me your answer down in the comment box. Make sure that you are hitting that subscribe button. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell, because that's what's gonna let you know what I upload. I get a lot of messages sometimes like, why are you uploading, MJ Fangirl? What's going on with your channel? Nothing, I'm still here. YouTube is just not showing you the videos. So make sure that you hit the bell. Give this video a thumbs up so that other fans can see this video too. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.